Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the mistakes that I've made in medical school thus far. I want to do it in a casual setting because A, I'm about to go to bed, and B, I don't want to formalize this because I'm trying to be more organic with my content or whatever. So I'm about to get myself a little drinky drink and I'm going to talk to you guys about my med school experience thus far and how I plan on proceeding thus forward. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. We're gonna call this little drink here a midnight mimosa because mimosas are usually for the morning, but it's late at night and it's delicious. Did I say I was gonna do 5 before? Because I meant to say I'm gonna do 5 big mistakes. So mistake number 1 would be I didn't work on myself and my mindset going into it. Like I genuinely just realized, guys, again, I'm really frazzled right now, sorry. I need to turn the fan off. I'm in high definition now. So yeah, the first mistake that I think that I made is not like going into it with the right mindset. I entered medical school thinking that it was a fluke that I was there, and because I thought it was a fluke and I just barely scraped in, like I just barely made my entry requirements, I barely got there. It took me 3 years to get what some people would argue are mediocre grades. I just kind of shot myself in the foot. So I was like, I'm gonna be mediocre the entire time I'm here, so may as well just get with the program, may as well not try too hard, but try hard enough just so I can get by, just so I can pass. I went into medical school with not that much confidence in myself in any area, and I just thought that mediocrity would carry me through. Really at the stage where I'm tired of being mediocre, and that's not just with med school, that's with all aspects like YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and I touched on that in my previous vlog, so you should go watch that. If you haven't already, you should go watch it. I think that's a big mistake, because if you don't have the right mindset going into any educational year, obviously there's things that are out of your control, but going in with that go get 'em, I'm gonna do my best, I'm gonna do the best I can at every stage, I didn't have that. So I would suggest to not repeat my mistakes, that you really have a sit down with yourself and like really ponder what you're trying to achieve. If your goal is to get 60%, 70%, 80%, if your goal is to pass because you have failed in the past, like whatever the case may be, have like a clear goal in mind of what you're trying to achieve. I just went into it just willy-nilly, so yeah. The second mistake, not attending things that you're supposed to attend. I know it sounds ridiculous, it sounds actually crazy, but I'm telling you, if I had attended some of those live and interactive sessions, I feel like they would have really helped me in terms of my understanding of the topic, offer like clarity and explanations on things that the lecturer doesn't, and they choose them for a reason. Like they know that these things can be unclear at first glance. Instead of me to go, I'm not saying I never went to any of them, but I feel like I didn't prioritize them. I just said, okay,
timetable, lectures, vision time,
and then the rest of it was just like, I don't need to go to that, I don't need to go to that. The ones that I did go to, I do them in bed, half asleep. It wasn't giving what it's, I wasn't taking it seriously. I think that in the future, for me and also for you guys, that you should consider, you may not be able to attend all of them, but just make it a point to go to them, take notes. Even if you're not absorbing things the way that you should be, just ask questions, because they're there for you to ask questions. Like, I don't like the ones that will be like, why are you asking me that? But the ones that actually are willing to interact with you and answer questions, they're an invaluable resource. So yeah. The third thing The third thing. Oh, for my Anki assassins, my Quizlet conquerors. Yeah, you can't spend too much time making revision resources, and this is especially for me. I feel like I spent a good chunk of the year. This year I didn't take like basically any notes. I spent a good chunk of the year making flashcards, and while there's nothing wrong with me making flashcards, and those are my preferred revision resource, I spent too long making them. I was still making flashcards up until a few weeks before the exam. And it didn't work out. It clearly didn't work out because I was supposed to like be making them as I went and like actually going over them weekly and monthly. And I know that I could have done that if I didn't keep procrastinating the lectures and letting things pile up, but you know, I spent too much time creating the revision resources and not utilizing them, not using them to my advantage, not kind of really getting into the habit of doing active recall, and that definitely really affected my grade because a lot of the things were new concepts. By the time the exam came around, I was studying something that I had learned a while ago, made a flashcard for a while ago, but it still kind of seemed like it was brand new information. It didn't feel like I had been learning that from before. So yeah, make sure you flashcard fanatics, make sure you're making them periodically. Don't cram too much information on them, and if you are taking too long to make the flashcard, move on to the next thing. Mistake number 4, I would say, is trying to study with other people. Now, I know I'm hitting a pressure point. I know somebody feels attacked out there. Me too, I'm attacked. Study buddies are a great thing if they're utilized correctly. The same way I was making revision resources and not utilizing them, I was having study buddies and we weren't study buddying. We were talking. Cause me, I know me, I like to talk. I like to have a little chat. I will talk about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P before I study. Yeah, I will distract myself on purpose just to avoid studying. And there's actually like research shows that procrastination sometimes isn't because of laziness, it's genuinely because of like the anxiety of really getting into the workload. And for me, I feel so anxious about so much. Like there's so much you need to know in med school, and just even trying to start to tackle it, I'd rather have a chat about, like, I don't know, something on the news. I don't watch the news, don't I? I'd rather have a chat about something that I saw on the Shade Room, or something that happened to me, or about someone that's trifling, just anything but my studying. So I'd say know yourself. If you know you can study around people, then that's great, good for you, like that's great. I do my best studying by myself, like as in not even in the same region as any of my friends, because all I'll do is I'll just give them one look and bam, that's it. I've spent an hour talking to them, and that's an hour of revision that I definitely needed. I definitely needed it. So yeah, I know when I get to like OSCEs and stuff, it will be better to study with people, but you have to know what you're going there for. If you know you're going there to study a specific thing with them, cool. But if you're just going in general, unless you're like in separate tables and stuff, just don't do it. Please don't do it. My final mistake, and I did mention it briefly in one of the other mistakes I said, I didn't go over my lectures periodically. Like, it's very difficult to go over everything as you go along, because there's always sometimes, like the way the curriculum goes is they're giving you physiology at the same time as anatomy, and they're giving you different topics at the same time, and so like it's a lot in your brain. Establishing like a weekly review system, I've keep telling myself I'm gonna do it, but I didn't do it. So I don't know what I was expecting to achieve there. It's easy to let a lecture that you did from September of 2019, you completely have forgotten it. Yeah, as I was saying, you know, you should what was I even saying? Ah! Okay, cool. There was like a massive break between this clip and the last clip, that's why. So you shouldn't let things build up. I know this is easier said than done, but a good way to avoid letting things build up is try and stay to the timetable. And if you don't, make sure that by the end of the week, that even if it means like a heavier Saturday or a heavier Sunday, just making sure that you go and consolidate everything that you've learned in the week, at least go over the material once, just to make things easier for yourself. And have all the lectures in, like everything that you need to do, have them all on the list, like have it in like those lecture by lectures, and like rag them. So like say if you've touched them, if you haven't touched them, if you've looked at them, if you understand it. I used to laugh at the people that did that. I used to say, I don't need to do that. That is so unnecessary. You're doing too much. All I need to do is do the lectures and write my little notes and write my little flashcards and be done. But having that organization and having everything in one place really does make a difference. Like it really does help, and I've seen it based on how people's attitudes are, and like they're like having the information readily available in their head. For me, somebody asked me a question. I don't have an answer. I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I don't know. And that's not good, because I'm not in a degree at which at the end of the degree I'm not going to need the information to do my job. I need to have these things actively in my brain, and if I don't have them actively in my brain, then I will falter. After a brief but necessary intermission, we have reached the end of the video. Final pointers just to kind of summarize. Your educational journey is what you make of it, and I think that's the biggest mistake I was making. I was making it seem as though I don't have control and that things are just happening around me and I have no say in how I do. You have so much more control than you think you do. So you can exercise that control in any way you want. You can determine your work-life balance. You can determine these things. And even though there are outside circumstances that you have to consider, for the most part, you are good to, you know, figure it out as you go along. And you have to give yourself that chance, you know. You can't just count yourself out. And I think that's what I was doing. And I really want to make an effort to not do that in the future. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. It was very, like, my usual sit down videos are a bit more lighting and staged, but I just wanted to have like a casual chat with you guys and let you know. I'll do another video about like my study habits and stuff going into second year and stuff like that. But that's all for now. But before you go, I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. Make sure you watch my last vlog. Before that, in fact, just watch all of them. I'll leave a playlist. Don't worry, I got you. Bye.